How are you?
I'm good, Barney. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank y'all for having me. And, well, my name is Barney Ingram. I'm a citizen of the Muscogee Creek Nation. Be 68 years old my next birthday. I retired as an industrial X-ray engineer. Played music around here for like the last 40 years. Played in a little band called Medicine Pony. And like a lot of the citizens my age, we're starting to see the things that we were promised haven't been holding up, and I think I can speak for a lot of people my age and our citizenship that are very disgruntled. And somebody's got to say something. Just basically, why is this every administration we go through the same thing? Like I said earlier, the definition of insanity is do the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results, and you're not going to get them. And me, like a lot of other citizens that had problems with their homes, and I've had problems for 25 years, one thing or another, be it the driveway or the propane tank not lined up where it ought to be, the highlight, a neighbor not having their driveway like it ought to be, and they're basically still driving through my yard, Just a lot of stuff that, needs to be brought to the surface and looked at, and why aren't these people being helped like they ought to be,
Talk a little bit about why you're here today.
Well, like I said, I'm here because the discrepancies in my home, just the boundaries, the agreements we had with the neighbor, the people, housing especially, I've approached them. We've, at one time, can I say this? We had a contract signed by the sitting Secretary of Housing, and I was told to go find another home because that house was just in, bad shape. And so I'd been looking for 2 or 3 weeks, every day. And then the sitting secretary gets replaced by another secretary, and he tells me there's no contract anymore. He knows my problem. They went and surveyed. It's all been taken care of. Told the chief, don't worry about it. And I said, well, if it's been taken care of, he said, your propane tank. So the propane company told me, they said they couldn't deliver me no more propane. Simply by the fact that a gentleman from the propane company, university or wherever, he comes up, the day they were looking at my house, the housing department, they were giving an estimate on what it would cost, my house is worth. And this gentleman told me that my propane tank was too close to my house. Then there's highline wires going across. He said is very not in code, and he said that's subject to fines in the amount of $20,000. Okay. So.
Now, tell me, you've had some discrepancies, and you've got some questions, and are trying to get things fixed with your home and your property. What have you done?
Well, I've taken it to the housing director to do the right thing, and it obviously hasn't been done. So now I've had to file what's the word?
A lawsuit?
Yes, against the chief and the director of the housing, because it's obvious that there's so many people out there that are in this same situation, and they just keep putting them off, and the Indian way is to don't say nothing, let it go. And we got to say something, because if we don't, it's just going to pass on to our children and our grandkids. And at the chance of being blackballed, I feel like I've got to say this. I've got to do it for our kids, you know. As far as financially, a lot of people like me feel like we get a D for our financial business interactions and taking care of our people, a D, you know. If you're working at the Creek Nation, you're there because our citizens. Flat out. Your job is here because you have citizen people. And if you got another agenda other than helping those people, then you don't need to be here.
What do you hope comes out from filing this lawsuit against the nation?
Well, actually, there's, you know, I'm doing it because of my situation, but I'm doing it because I want people to know that it's not okay just to be quiet, and it's not okay to let it go. There's actions you can take. Those particular people are here because we put them there, and they're there because of us. And their main job should be to help the people, and a lot of elderly are disgruntled. They feel about the same way I do, a lot of them.
Is there anything else that you want to tell us about your situation or that you'd like to add?
Well, we can start by putting educated, qualified people into positions that require educated, qualified people, from the hospitals on down to mowing the grass, you know. We've got to start somewhere, and that'd be a good start, you know, and make a decision. Even if it's wrong, stand up and make a decision and stick by it, you know. Be the person that you want to represent, the people that put you there. So make a decision, stand up for your decision, and know that you're there because your main purpose is to help the Creek citizens. And like I was saying, the young kids, they don't realize this. It's mostly the elderly. Once you get to a certain age and you expect the promises, I'm afraid at some time our hospital organization, they're going to pick and choose who can get medicine and who can't. Because now they're doing it now, you know. People are getting turned. When we were promised homes, education, and hospitalization by the government. And it's not the government, it's our own people that's making it hard, you know. And with that, that's all I have to say.
Thank
and
you.
I want to thank y'all for having me and allowing me to say this.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.